That's all I was concerned about, really.
Okay. I can still see your.
Okay, I can see you too.
But
That's what I
as
was
long as
concerned about.
it's okay,
And it's
as
still
long as
recording.
it's
Hmm?
okay.
It's still recording.
Okay. So we're good.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. So, well, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, of
I
course.
really do appreciate it and taking the
Yeah.
time because I know your schedule is really hectic right now.
It's really my big plans for today were going to Publix.
Big Plans is Publix. Isn't that amazing how Big Plans have all of a sudden become Publix?
It's truly the craziest thing. It is so strange. And like everyone was saying on Friday that it was just the weirdest day. It didn't feel real.
Yeah. It's very surreal,
That's
isn't it?
it was so weird. Like finally I'm starting to process everything, I guess. But now I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Have you gotten to, like, I guess, hang out with friends at all, or are you pretty much quarantined to not hang out with anybody? Or
I went to the beach with my friends on Wednesday and now I'm quarantined. Like that was it. So,
wow.
yeah.
Um, so do you think with all of this going on that with what we're trying to empower our students with is helping at all, like with just like daily sort of like videos and maybe just like some sort of connection somehow? I mean,
Yeah,
is it
I think
offering
so.
something to think about and ponder?
Yeah, I think it's nice because we're not like seeing anyone. Like we're all just in our houses, so having like a place to connect is nice because everyone's just literally quarantined. So it's good to have that connection. Yeah, that's good.
What have you been doing with your time? I mean, other than trying to figure out what to do with it. Because I spend a
Yeah,
lot of time just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my time.
yeah. There's a lot of that, and then kind of embarrassing, but not really. I've been playing the Wii.
Nice.
Literally playing Wii Sports Resort. I watched Phineas and Ferb. Um, I've eaten a lot of cookies. And I mean, I've worked a couple days. I have never been so happy to go to work in my life.
Yeah. How is it at the restaurant? You guys are
Oh,
doing
it's so weird.
takeout, right? Or you're just doing drive-through?
Yeah. So the dining room is closed.
Uh-huh.
So you can come inside only for carry out. But they had like 6 of us in the drive-through. Normally there's like 4 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
6 people in drive-through. But I mean, we're doing good.
Good.
I mean, it's a little less busy than normal, but we're doing good.
People
But
still
it's
need
weird.
their Chick-fil-A, don't they?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I saw the same person. I worked Tuesday and Thursday, and I saw her on Tuesday and Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, no, me too. I've eaten so much Chick-fil-A in the past 2 weeks.
Mm. I don't know how you can do it. I really don't.
I don't know either. I haven't gotten tired of it.
I've actually lost my appetite in the last couple of days. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like I gorge myself on junk food, and then
Yeah.
it's time for dinner. I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
Yep.
So let me ask you this. It all but really does stink that you are a senior this year and we're going through this. And for you personally, just kind of express like what you are feeling as far as sort of the disappointment in it, but are you in any way, shape, or form trying to, I don't know, find something good out of this to sort of celebrate this moment in your life? Or is your
Yeah.
family supportive in some way, or your other peers supportive? I mean, what are you doing to at least acknowledge the fact that this is the year that you are graduating? We cannot forget that.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, I mean, there's other schools that have had their proms like in March, and those are getting like either canceled or postponed, and that's really scary. College graduations have been canceled. Luckily, our prom is in May, so it's kind of far off. It's past that 8-week mark, so I'm not too worried about it, but there's like other events, there's like, we have senior lunches every quarter. We have grad bash on April 25th, and Universal said, they're closing till the end of March, but they might be closing till the end of April. And that's pretty upsetting because, everyone's looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Just all these fun things, it's your senior year. You wait 12 years for your senior year, and then it's kind of weird. And especially there was like, it was fake, obviously, talking about how school is canceled for the rest of the year. But if that were true, which it's not, at this point, that would be so devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you want to like school is not the most fun thing in the world, but you do want to like cherish those like last moments that you have in school,
right,
with your friends, with your teachers. So I'm trying to look at the bright side. Like, we're going to go back to school at
mm-hmm.
some point. If prom does get canceled, like, we could just get everyone together and we can try to rent out the space as the senior class if they would like allow that, and just have our own prom and they wouldn't know about it. Or just, if grad bash gets canceled, if they like refund us, I hope, I'll just get like a universal pass or something and go together. So it's
Here's
tough,
an idea.
but like we can work around it.
Here's an idea. Call Kevin Bacon and get Footloose in somebody's barn. You've never seen that movie, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, are you kidding me? Are you serious? You've never seen Footloose?
I've never seen Footloose.
Oh, Emmy. Oh, Emmy. They outlawed dances in this town, and Kevin Bacon said, "No way, we're gonna have a prom. We're gonna have a dance." And they went to somebody's barn and they did their own dance.
Okay.
It was climax of the movie, and it was fun, and everybody got footloose. I'm just thinking,
Okay, then that's what we'll do. I'll watch the movie. I have time. I have plenty of time to watch movies. So.
You do, and you and I are movie buffs, and I always told you to watch all those movies, and this is a great time for you.
Oh yeah, I have them written down a list. I'm like, okay, I have all this time to watch all these old movies.
Yes.
I watched The Twilight Zone, like the old show.
Movie? Or the show? Yeah.
The show, yeah. I watched the one episode with the ventriloquist dummy.
I don't remember that one.
It was terrifying.
Was
it? It was so scary. I saw a YouTube video. It was like the scariest Twilight Zone episodes, and I was like, I don't like horror movies, but yes. And I watched the scariest one, and it was truly horrifying.
Those are good shows, though.
It was cool, though.
Very well written for that time period.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty inventive.
Yeah. It was good. It was so scary. Don't think scary things.
So let me ask you this. How have you been working on trying to put God in all of this? Because I know for many people, this has been sort of, we've kind of slammed on the brakes and we've been sort of in stagnation or whatever. And I think a lot of people tend to become overwhelmed with anxiety and fear and a worry that things aren't going to work out the way that they want them to and they plan for. And I know that's always in the back of our minds. We've just been talking about what if school doesn't and what if school does. How have you been sort of leaning on God in all this?
Well, I think it's kind of a coincidence, sort of. I don't know. It's kind of funny how it worked out that like we're missing all of this school during like the Lent season.
Yeah.
And everyone always jokes, I want to give up homework for Lent because then I'd have a lot more time to read the Bible if I didn't have homework. It's like, well, guess what?
Yep.
We've got like 3 more weeks and it's going to be Easter in like 2 weeks. So
That's
I
right.
think that's kind of funny how that worked out. So that's almost like, I don't know, I feel like I have no excuse at this point. But I have like a little list of all of these things that I could be doing because I don't have homework or anything to do. So like I need to fill my free time somehow. So I've made a list of like things that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start a prayer journal. I don't know how to do it. I'm watching YouTube videos, but like, I don't know, just to like kind of change up how I pray and make it more organized because that makes me feel a little bit better when I
Yeah.
write everything out. But yeah, that's something I want to do. And then reading the Bible more often. I have this app on my phone. It gives me a Bible verse at like a certain time of the day.
Yeah.
And I've been like actually taking time to like read that instead of just like, you know, I'm on my way to lunch. I'm like, okay, you know, I have more time now. So I'm trying to like set a routine because I have time to, and I have time to like actually make a habit out of it and not just kind of do it for like a day and then forget about it.
Right. You've always
Yeah.
been really good about having devotions and stuff, and anybody that has ever been to Caffeine and Christ will know that. Um, what is something that's kind of stuck out to you? And I mean, you don't have to read it, but if there was like something in that you've been reading as far as a devotion or a scripture, is there something that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stands out to you that kind of is present with you?
Oh, there's a verse. I forget exactly what it says. I want to say it was in Psalms, but it was so relevant to everything that's happening now. Of course, I don't remember what it was, but it said something about like no plague will befall you or anything, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was someone posted on their Instagram and I saw it. But I just know that he's gonna, you know, he'll take care of us and we're gonna be okay because we're in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So just always knowing that brings me a lot of peace. So just reminding myself of that, like it's inconvenient that we can't, you know, go to Busch Gardens, go to Disney, and go see our friends and go shopping and stuff. But you kind of have to put it into perspective because, I mean, we're not sick or anything.
Right.
We're just kind of stuck at home with like all of the things that we have at home. So just putting it into perspective, like it's not so bad. Like it's inconvenient, but
It's still a first world problem.
it's very much like first world problem things. Yeah. That's how I'm trying to think about it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to, yeah, I try not to complain too much about it, but.
Have you gotten a chance to just and you probably have, but you talked about just staying at home and looking at the things in your home and that's what's pretty much entertaining you or
Mm-hmm.
providing time for you. Did you notice or have you noticed how much junk you have and how much just how many things you have that just take up so much space and so much space in your life and you never even knew it until now because you've now paused to take a look and take stock and inventory and you're just like, wow.
There's so many things. I
Yeah.
don't even know what they are. There's so many things. Oh my gosh. And of course, I've had no time to do a deep spring cleaning because
Yeah.
you were talking about in the other video how we're like hummingbirds. We just kind of flip from like one thing to the next. That's how I feel like I've been since January 1st. It has been so crazy. I'm like, okay, I really need to clean my room. I really need to like do these important things, but I have this dumb project to do that's not going to mean anything and like ever, but you know. So yeah, I've had no time to like actually notice all of these things that need to be taken care of. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's part of the when you mentioned Lent, that's the first thing I thought of when we kind of went into this whole thing and
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. Well, we're kind of forced to give up some stuff, and we're forced to not only give up stuff, but we're forced to really look at the physical inventory of our lives and see how much garbage that we have, as well as spiritual inventory, and see how
Hmm.
much garbage we have, and what is important to us, what is not. And when we get out on the other end, maybe we can minimize our lives to, I guess, bring God more into our lives.
Hmm.
If you think about it that way,
Yeah,
it's been a great
it's
opportunity for us.
it really is. It's unfortunate that this is how it had to happen, but I mean, you have to look at the positives, and you don't get opportunities like this ever, just to be able to do nothing and kind of restructure everything.
Right.
That's how I'm kind of taking it.
So, I don't want to take up much more of your time, but I have 3 questions for you.
Okay.
And the first question is, um, if there was something you could say to parents right now during this time that we're going through, what would it be? Coming from a,
Just parents in general.
yeah, just parents in general.
Hmm.
Um, because I know some parents watch these videos, and they watch it
Okay.
because they want to have connection with their youth and what's
Yeah.
going on. And that's one of the reasons why I want to talk with you too. And
Okay.
I think that you give great advice. And I just think that if there was some advice you could give to a parent right now, as you, as a young person, as a youth that is going through this, what would it be?
Okay. Um, I guess just spend time with your family. Um, like when your kids are all grown up and like in college and they moved out, like, oh, I wish I, did more of this with them or whatever. Just do fun things that, like, if you have older kids, like what you used to do when you were little. Like, we have so many board games and so many like Wii games. Just spending some like good time with your family doing things like that is so fun, and it's so meaningful, and like you don't get to do it all the time because everyone has crazy schedules. So I guess that's kind of one thing I would say. Just have fun, just spend time together, because free time like this doesn't happen very often, I feel like.
Right.
So
There's really no excuse for a parent to say later to their young person, their young teenager, I wish I had more time, because you've got some time to
right.
spend with your kids. There's no excuse now. But yeah,
Right.
you bring up some good points. Okay, so second question is
Mhm.
same thing, but what would you say to your fellow peers, your classmates, your friends? What would you say to them?
um I guess just think about things you've been putting off, like, oh, I would do this if I had more free time. Just like what would, like, thinking of the things that you would do if you had more free time, because we're always complaining about how we don't have free time, but like I'm always complaining how I don't have free time. um and now we have all this free time. We're like, well, I don't know what to do, I have nothing to do. It's like, you have stuff to do, you just can't think of it.
Right.
So thinking about that kind of thing, not necessarily like, I mean, it could be just like, cleaning your room, doing like a certain little thing, but also like setting goals for yourself, um like things you've always wanted to do but you just never have time for because of like school or sports or anything like that.
Right.
That's what
Okay. Last question.
I think. Okay.
And I know that you probably, you say what's on your heart when you pray to God. But if there was something that you would want to say to God, and have everyone else know that you are saying to God, what would it be? If you could say something right now to the general public, as a maybe giving them help to speak to God, what would you
Okay.
say?
um I guess I'd just be asking God, like, I what do you want me to do in this time right now? Like, what do you want from me right now?
Wow.
Because I keep saying it, but like we don't get opportunities to have all of this free time like this. So
Yeah.
we don't have excuses for other things we should be doing. So what should we be doing right now?
Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really, really good. it's kind of at our disadvantage too, because we're offering ourselves up to God, and
Mhm.
we're really kind of limited on what we can do. You know,
Mhm.
I tried to reach out to a couple of organizations this week to see if if there's anything I could do personally,
Mhm.
and their doors were shut and they can't do anything until April.
Yeah.
So it's really hard, but um, I think one of the things we can do, you know, and I think God would want us to do, is to just lean on each other too,
Mhm.
um, and talk with each other, keep the communication open. That's how I
Mhm.
find that, isolation and sometimes even just boredom gets the best of us, is when we're not open and having conversations about it.
Right.
Because we love our minds because they're so good and they're getting us through school and they're getting us through work and everything like that. But sometimes when we're alone with them, they can play some tricks on us, and
Right.
we just need to be open and
Mhm.
talking and communicating. So,
Mhm.
and I'm really, I hope and I pray that things will conclude sooner than later, because at least for nothing else, to get the seniors back in school so they can finish out and feel good
Yeah.
about it. You know, it really concerns me, because you guys deserve the, this part of your lives to remember, and have
Yeah.
for it to be like this.
Yeah. It's interesting. It is like a fever dream. It is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you would like to say to the general public, to the people that listen to us, and to your PSM students?
If you still have a Wii in your house, Wii Sports Resort is the best. It is such a good use of your time right now. So is the Bible. Wii Sports Resort and the Bible. Not in that order.
That sounds like a good plan.
that is that is what I would like to say to everyone right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for letting me talk with you